trying to get some coaching in, trying to get some matchup experience, and just like familiarizing himself with like matchup specific tech. And a lot of times, like you kind of when you're playing, you have to really remind yourself that there are specific ways that you can play a matchup that will like extremely benefit your character. And if you don't do those things, you're going to really not understand why your character beats the player who you're fighting against. And for Yoshi, for Solidus, or for Santiago, that was definitely something that he kind of struggled with maybe both his characters, Villager, Pit, or all three, I guess, both Villager, Pit, and Hero. And it's definitely something that he's still working on, but I'm very curious to see how it'll go. Because you can practice all you want, but like it's all about if it's able to be applied. And for Solidus, let's see if he's able to continue to apply the wonderful work that he's been doing. Like his Yoshi man just looks great. And every week, man, he's getting the consistency down. And I think that with the amount of tournaments he's been playing in, man, like it just makes sense. Like he's been grinding. And I know for a fact he's not just been entering these tournaments. He occasionally, every couple weeks or so when he has extra time, has been entering other online tournaments, either on Wednesdays or just earlier in the week. And as well as is considering trying to continue his kind of Smash scene into the offline era. I know he's been talking about how there's a local that's going to be starting up soon in his area as well. So he's definitely excited to continue competing even into the offline era as we get out of COVID and everything. But it's just both these players at the end of the day, they're competitors, and it's going to be very exciting to see them play.
No, just two amazing competitors in a lot of ways. All right, looks like we've got they just pulled out the stage list, so I don't know if they chatted on it in private message or not. We'll see in just a second. Typical character selects. Let's go ahead and go over the full game.
Alrighty, it looks like we're seeing the Villager versus Yoshi here. And keep in mind, Villager, one of those characters that definitely is like Santiago's like calling card almost, and kind of getting the home field advantage here with the start on Smashville, and definitely kind of alluding to his Smash 4 veteran status is Santiago. With in Smash 4, pretty much every player always picked Smashville. Like that's just the stage they picked. PS2 was not a legal stage back then, and in this game it is, and it just kind of took over. And definitely kind of showing that he's still at home with the stage, likes it way better, likes the pacing, likes the music, likes the aesthetic, and probably also helps his character on too. As we see Villager riding in on that Lloyd, trying to get that hit, but right away we're seeing that was not the best idea, as Solidus was there to punish. And one thing about Solidus I think Santiago needs to keep in mind is that beyond anything else, beyond all the combos and everything, Solidus will punish you, but Santiago will like scar you. Like this man, he makes sure that when he gets any sort of advantage, whether it's stock percentage, he is going to make sure that he racks up that like snowball percentage in a sense and gets high damage early. And when he gets that high damage early, he'll start to slow down and make sure that he's playing like more passive, just to make sure that he's maintaining that lead. And unfortunately there, he did get tripped up a bit by Yoshi's, I don't know what to call it, his down B. As we see that it did get the kill off the top platform, and that may come back to bite him later in the set with just the fact that it can kill off the top platform. So that is something that Santiago's going to have to keep in mind. However, this nice use of this tree kind of forced Solidus to grab ledge, and we don't really get to see Solidus go on ledge too much. And this is definitely somewhere where I think Villager and Santiago as a player and character combo will thrive. Santiago is definitely a player known for his ledge traps and known for his ledge traps with Villager specifically. And it's definitely something I think he really enjoys about this character. This character has so many like types of ledge traps with the tree, with the Lloyd, combining both to have some really wacky setups, as well as conditioning players to respect the tree and then use the axe instead, since the axe deals 40 damage and has tons of shield stun and damage. Going for the down smash there to get the berry to F smash read. Does not get it. It's actually similar to Game & Watches, but just a bit less useful in that you have to do front hit first, then second. And that time we see Yoshi's Fair out-prioritizes the...
yeah, that was pretty gutsy to challenge Bowling Ball like that.
Yeah, I've never seen somebody, and that's the thing, is like Solidus is like, he's confident, like he knows what his character can do, man, and that definitely is something that you learn over time, just by grinding out match after match. Like you get so many interactions, and they don't become weird anymore. And like you might play a game or two with like some random character, like me Sword Fighter, for instance, and you're like, huh, that's how my character interacts. But after playing that match a couple hundred times or whatever, just on quick play, you'll notice that it's just normal now. But for Solidus, definitely taking back the lead after such a huge deficit. As Santiago's at 70%, needs to get a kill here, man. And I think that if he's able to, he can probably squeeze his way back into this. Back throw might kill, definitely does. Not really, kind of sus DI, honestly, on that. However, I'm not entirely familiar with the base knockback angle of that. So it might have just been the normal knockback angle. There are some characters that just have stellar back throws. Like, and I mean, like, DI just does not matter back throws. For one, King K rules back throw regardless of the way you DI it. It just looks gross. Like, it literally looks like you just are doing the wrong DI because of how good it is in terms of throwing you backwards. Solidus going for the side B here. And Santiago knowing how to deal with it, just jumping, knowing that what is he going to do? He can't jump up to me. He has to cancel it. And Solidus there, weird flub. I'm not sure exactly what went wrong for him there. Maybe bonked his head on the bottom of Smashville. We're going to have to see in the replay.
Yeah.
So he does side B here. Gets knocked off stage. Up B's. Oh, I see. The Lloyd, a really smart choice from Santiago. Shoots out the Lloyd, knowing that he'd be able to get it underneath the Yoshi egg. Because we saw Yoshi throw that egg there right before it hit him. And as it hit him, before it was able to hit him, the Lloyd goes under the egg, hits Solidus as he jumped. And it had enough damage on the missile from the Lloyd that it stopped Yoshi from being able to do his full armored jump, which was really smart on his end because Solidus was not aware of it, not able to react in time to either air dodge up or up B to give himself some more distance. He just lost his stock. And that's the first game in the books, man. And I feel like that's something that's going to kind of happen in this matchup. We're going to be seeing Villager really take advantage of interruptions. And this is something that in other matchups normally happens in the neutral of the matchup. We're usually seeing Villager interrupt like a flow of a rushdown character or a brawler who's trying to get in on him, since this is kind of a zoner setup archetype character. But now we're seeing that interruption with like the forward aerials with the Lloyds happened off stage, because that's just kind of where Yoshi thrives and where he's weakest. At the same time, is that when you see Yoshi using his jump, you really have to abuse any options that keep him off stage, because once you do that, he's gone. That's it for him. But let's see. Solidus needs to try and stay in this game. Can't make any mistakes like that again. And even at the same time, he didn't really do anything wrong. It was just that he got messed with, and Santiago kind of learning and more aware than ever, it seems, on what to do to almost every character, because he's played so many today. It seems like he got the warm up earlier with Homeboy in terms of the Yoshi matchup, but he played probably a Pyra Myth today, a Link. He played Mewtwo, played Meta Knight as well. So he's just playing a large plethora of characters and not really dropping too many games, it seems. But for Solidus, man, we know what he's built. We know what he's built of, and this I like this pick for Battlefield. I think that this is definitely going to help him get around all of these projectiles a bit more, as well as give him some more cover for things like that. Because that's so unexpected. You're just always expecting the platforms to kind of help you out, you know? But look at that edge guard. And this is what I talk about with interruptions again. We see Santiago making sure the instant he sees that there's no egg coming out, he's throwing out those pellets. And now we see Santiago rolling through the tree and then setting up that Lloyd, getting these trades in when he can, because these trades are so important, man. And right now, like, you're on the same stock, but when you have this type of percent lead, that stuff can happen. And that's, even if he doesn't get the kill here, like, that's just so much damage.
Yeah.
It's just so much, man. And we've seen Yoshi, like, Yoshi's type of character, he's got that burst range. He's got that type of, I'll just dash in and deal 40% to you. See you later, man. But at the same time, Villager is one of those characters that really forces you out, and Solidus there kept his jump, but was unable to grab ledge because he had to force his way through with Nair. Solidus, man, really kind of stuck, literally stuck in the corner now. Finally fighting for center stage here, as Santiago kind of approaches from the ledge again. And one interesting thing that I think is very, kind of interesting about Santiago's play is the way he's kind of using his character's zoning tools to really control the pace of neutral in a way that's not as linear as some other characters would. Using the tree to kind of take up space, but then he's taking up corner space. He's not using it to set up in neutral, like in the center stage. He's kind of controlling like one side of the corner, then getting to center stage. Yoshi gets pushed to the opposite side of tree, and now you're literally like kind of holding Yoshi on this other side of the stage. He can't like roll through you because tree is on the other side. And if he runs towards you, you're gonna get hit by Lloyd and a projectile of other sorts. Nice use of that Lloyd again, also covering that extra platform here. Setting up the tree again, as we see Santiago goes to the opposite side of the stage here, knowing that Solidus is literally between a tree and another tree, I guess. I don't know what Lloyd is made out of. It looks like it's made out of wood, so I'm gonna call it a tree. Nice use of these double fairs, man. Kind of carrying Solidus again across the stage, man. Really racking up this extra credit. Be careful with that. Gets the X hit. That's going to do lots of damage, man. And that's going to do it. The Hurtbox extension from the side B hits Solidus, knocks him to the blast zone, and that's just so much damage. Solidus taking that 2-0 victory. Wow. I think one more game, right? And this Solidus got one
this
game.
best of 5. Yep, winners finals.
Yeah. I think that right now we're going to need to see either a crazy stage pick or maybe just some adaptation, because I think right now Solidus or Santiago, he's really got down this like kind of mid-range pressure, because there's so much going on with Santiago just like getting stuff all up in your face, and at the same time, once you get put off stage, Santiago is making sure to really pressure Yoshi in the areas where it counts, when he's using his double jump, when he hasn't yet, when he tries to use egg, and he's covering all the options. We saw with that Lloyd, he went high, and look at this. Switching to the Mario.
Went back old school on us.
Yeah, and I think for good reason. I think that what Solidus wants is he wants some better air control, and he does not want to get cheesed in the sense by not having a normal recovery, and that's really been coming back to bite him in this set. Like, we've seen multiple times that Solidus has just been unfortunately like gimped in a sense by Yoshi's recovery, and it's not for a lack of him like knowing how to deal with it. Like, he knows how to use it, but unfortunately Santiago is very much aware of where to be like preemptively setting up like Lloyds, preemptively setting up trees and things like that to really cover ground, and now he's using the axe as an aggressive tool to pretty much force Mario off stage. Look at this, Mario getting back on stage with the recovery, but not before taking almost 100% in damage. Goes for the back throw. Gets him off stage, doesn't get too much off of it, but honestly, really nice choice by Solidus at that initial nair he went for. Just getting back on stage, knowing that he, like, if he is able to recover, then he's not going to lose his stock initially from just an SD. And when it's your last potential game in this set, you need everything you got. And right now, Solidus making good work, getting this back to tied. Even Stevens here needs to get a stock if he wants to try and get the lead. Nice F tilt from Santiago here, waiting at ledge, gets up smashed. Nice use of that down air as well by Solidus, making sure that his opponent like really had no way of kind of being aggressive from below. I believe Santiago is probably trying to go for the up air with the turn-ups, and unfortunately for him, it just did not work out in his favor, as we see Solidus now 170, 180 man, and when you're at this, you're at max rage, man. And Mario is like, he's the type of character that he's gonna have so much combo potential if he can hit you. But Santiago having none of that, saying get out of here, man. Sends him backwards with that net and needs to get aggressive. Needs to start something quick, because I think if you're Santiago now, you need to kind of like oppress Mario. You need to get him out of here. But because oh gosh, that could have been dangerous. Because when you're in the situation, you want to like kind of regain your stage control as villager. You want to make sure that like your opponent feels shut down and that your setups are working and getting the damage needed. And we're seeing right now Santiago kind of behind, about 50%, and definitely does not have the saving grace of like a Yoshi SD where it's just due to the character's recovery, or like the abuse of lack of one in a sense. But we're seeing Santiago making his way back in this game, using Rage, using his setups with Lloyd, as well as the tree again. But nice tech there from Santiago. And one thing I think that Solidus is kind of getting an awareness of is the fuel amount on the up B from Villager. And so just like Rob's up B with like the literal like fuel tank that he has in his jetpack, Santiago's Villager, the balloon's helium actually decreases every time it's used and for how long it's used. So you have to like not use it enough to where it recharges. And for Santiago, that can be a really hard thing to manage when you keep getting repeatedly hit off stage and having to reuse it. So it's something that Solidus was kind of trying to really abuse when we saw that tech situation. But there, nice bowling ball, man. Now it's even. Potential last stock situation, last game situation for Solidus. If he's able to win this game, he will then get another game into this best of 5. And definitely in survival mode here. Both players really throwing out hitboxes, but not trying to commit too hard. Like, when you're in this situation, you want to be throwing out the things you know are safe, but you don't want to just be, like, going for your best combo yet. You want to just... It's literally like the start of a game all over again. Because you want to make sure that when you're playing, this is the rest of the game. You want to make sure that you aren't, like, overextending, but at the same time, you want to make sure that once you see an opening, you go for it, man. And it looks like Solidus is kind of giving Santiago that one opening he needs. Able to get back. The tree's built. Solidus reflecting that Lloyd, not really a factor. Another great use of this matchup with Solidus is kind of invalidating that tool. The up air reads into up B. Woo! Almost gets it. The legend vulnerability was still active. Oh, reflects him. Tries to go for up air. Does not get anything off of that. Next hit possibly. Be careful here if you're both players, honestly. Mario going for jabs. Doesn't have too much he can do. Does he go for up smash? He does not. Gives up stage control. Solidus giving up stage control again at ledge. Santiago now at ledge. Rolls through. Gets back aired. Everything is down to the wire here. Percent-wise, stock-wise, time-wise, we're at like almost 1 minute left.
Oh, turned him around, but ends up rolling out of that.
This is so close. Both players just trying to play patiently. And right now, Solidus is in the lead, so keep in mind, even if this goes to time, just because they're at the same stock, the way it works is that whoever has the lower percent at this point would end up being the victor of this match. However, it's so close. It's by 4%.
Oh, that Mario Tornado didn't work. This back throw.
Not yet, but that win is getting farther and farther away, and it's a possible timeout may occur. The wall jump, going for anything here. Goes for back throw again. Not gonna kill yet. Less than a minute left. Santiago has to do something. He's gotta get something now.
What?
The up air, that's gonna do it. Nearly 7 minutes of play.
That is a replay worth watching.
What a tense match, guys. And like here we saw, like imagine this, like there's so much stress just when you're in one of these situations, because at any point, both like this is sudden death. Like once you get to these percents, man, you got a Mario who's pretty much at max rage. It's Mario. And then you got Santiago, who's well above max rage and could literally die at any moment. This is just going to be one of those scary situations where now, will Santiago make the switch to a different character? Like, I don't think he needs to. I think that really towards the end of that match, we saw him kind of come alive. But at the same time, like, it's hard to say. I don't think that he needs to, but if he does, this is going to be one of those matches where it's going to be a reset in a sense. Santiago, if he wants to try and do the switch, he can try to pull up the hero now, and it wouldn't really go against him. He wouldn't need to worry about like the loss in a sense. Yes, it would then put him one game closer, but it would also give his villager a rest if he wanted to, and kind of just let it chill for a game to allow like a matchup to get forgotten by Solidus. Because I'm not sure. He does only need to win one game, so if he's able to do it with the villager, this would definitely be the time to just do it. And definitely unsure. Alright, we're seeing same characters, man. And make sure to put your predictions into the chat here. We got predictions started. 5 minutes in. Final game, possibly. Solidus needs to win another game to get this to game 5 situation. We're at game 4 right now. And Solidus starting up, or Santiago starting right away with a 0 to death. The intimidation from that bowling ball. And oh my goodness! What a crazy way to start off this match. And honestly, I would not blame Santiago now if he just started to decide to just take it super slow. We saw a similar situation happen in, I believe, game 1-2 of this set, where Santiago got a crazy lead right away, and then all of a sudden it was just gone because Yoshi just completely took over the match, just due to his damage knock ratio. But then now we're seeing Santiago lap, Solidus in percent, the bowling ball. What a crazy turnaround this was. Just a shift in the stage selection. We saw Solidus go to, or we saw Santiago rather go to the Town City stage a bunch wider. These extra platforms on the edge and the rotation of them also kind of helps out the playstyle of Santiago. Using the gigantic, there's not even a word large enough to describe the lead that Santiago has right now on Solidus. Just there has not been enough time compared to the last match where Santiago was, or Solidus rather, was able to get some sort of download, get like time to figure out what it is he needs to change or mix up in his habits. And I think that's on purpose. I think that Santiago knows that they spend a lot of time kind of feeling each other out last game. It literally took almost a time. And for both these players, Santiago knows that there's got to be things that Solidus is aware of on Santiago's habits and everything. And we're going to be seeing possibly this match end early. Don't want to SD it right here if you're Santiago. You don't want to lose this gigantic lead right now, especially with the type of character Mario is. Man, he can take you to 0 to death just like we saw Santiago do at the beginning. Oh, goes for the down air. Almost gets the bowling ball again as Santiago. Santiago looks like he's trying to play super aggressively, get as much damage as he can on the stock. And honestly, when you have this much percent, you want to try and force as much of this as possible. Nice dash grab here. Gets another dash grab here. Goes for the up throw. Waits. Doesn't get anything. And, ooh, pockets it. He can throw 2 now. Keep in mind, one of them will be more strong. Unpockets the other one. Probably doesn't want to get hit by a 3 reflected Lloyd rocket. It would kill instantly. We see the Fair come out from Mario. Lloyd come out to defend against the fireballs. Forward area ledge. Mario goes for up smash. No roll read. 90% is Solidus. Gets the back air. One hit on the tree. The tree is waning. Tree is gone. Gonna have to set that up again if he wants to build it, and at this percent it might be a risk. Goes for the Lloyd again. Not gonna kill yet. I believe that was up tilt. I'm not exactly sure, but it did hit Solidus. Solidus, man, a really rough spot now. If he's gonna get this back, he needs to take a stock. All right, does have 1 hit on the tree. Gets a fair hit on Solidus. Goes for the up air. The stick! That's gonna do it. What a set. Jeez. Santiago, man, winning this 3-1. Jeez. I'll be honest. I didn't know what to really predict for this, but I also just was like very I was like just surprised. Like it just both players are very good, so you can't really like expect anything. And all of those matches were really fast, or like really close rather, not fast, but just very close. And I think that for these players, like you're gonna be seeing how like even if a bracket card or a challenge link says somebody lost 3-1, both those players, man, they were fighting for every single stock. There was no way that like one of them just earned it, like easily earned a game.
True.
They both
true.
like that was just so even the entire time, even if at points it seemed very like unwinnable too.
No, yeah, these guys definitely went back and forth throughout that set on it. Even though I think you're 100% right, the bracket does not reflect how competitive that the particular match was. Honestly, when you kind of look at it, on the whole, you know, Solidus makes a character swap that really kind of changes the entire dynamic of the fight, and so really cool to kind of watch. Him take that, you know, take a win and say, hey, so, you know, here's how I still have more up my sleeve than just Yoshi. And at the same time, also really watching a great time watching Santiago adapt